Hey guys, welcome to the Mr. Mortgage Podcast. Today we got two special guests that we're going to be talking to you. We're going to be talking about the hot market that we got going on in real estate, and we're also going to be talking about forbearance. So you guys stay tuned, and we'll be right with you. All right. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm excited.
Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you doing? So introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Tell everybody that's watching what you guys are doing and what you got going on.
Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for having us on your show. First of all, with Mr. Mortgage. I'm Veronica Jaramillo with True Realty and Associates. I'm the real estate broker. And I have been, she'll introduce herself here in a minute, but she's one of my agents, one of my amazing agents that loves to take care of all our clients. But I have been in the business for, going on probably about 7 years. I started off with a small brokerage. Then I ended up going with Century 21 Judge Fight, and I met so many awesome agents there with that agency. Then I ventured off to another agency and finally creating my own agency, my own brokerage, just because with True Realty, we tackle a little bit of both. We do conventional real estate and we work with investors and investments and things like that. So with our brokerage, we have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to both conventional real estate and investment properties. So that is me in a nutshell.
Nice. That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Okay, well, Evette.
Hello. For those who don't know me, my name is Evette, and thank you all again. Really do appreciate for having us on the show. Well, for me, my name is Evette Valdez, and I've been a realtor for about 4 years now. I've been married for about 17 years, have 3 beautiful boys, blessed with 3 beautiful boys, and no girls, but I have 3 girl dogs. That's something my husband gave me, girls, I guess. I decided to become a realtor just basically to being financial freedom, being my own boss, being able to spend more time with my kids, and I like making people happy, showing them new homes and making their dreams come true.
Oh, that's right. People be happy when they get new house.
Mad at me because I didn't even mention my husband or my kids. I love you. I have a husband and 3 kids too. I'm like, girl, you ain't
no. Yeah, you about to get called out live. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for hopping on. We definitely appreciate you guys coming on and just sharing the time of that we have currently and just kind of giving us some information that you guys currently have now. Now we do have some situations going on in the market, right? One, I know we talked about the market is hot. Houses are selling, multiple offers, all of these things are going on, but the backside of it is, right? The dark side of what the market is a forbearance, right? So, because a lot of people, because of the coronavirus and things that's going on, a lot of people have been put in, they were furloughed and lost their jobs. And because of that, they were put in situations to where they couldn't afford their mortgage. Luckily, they did have, some options to help them as far as, maybe skip some mortgage payments and all this, all this information. And the thing was, when it first rolled out, there was so much misinformation coming out. Nobody knew how it worked. Even some mortgage companies or the servicers, they didn't know how it worked either. And they were slow to kind of get things going as far as forbearance is concerned. And because of that, I think even now still people, there's just a lot of misinformation out there. They don't know how it works, how long it works, what it takes to, to qualify. So there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I guess not a lot of people hear the video, but basically the gist of it is there's a lot of people on mortgage forbearance. So let's just kind of talk about how mortgage forbearance originally went, how it was rolled out. So originally, it was for 12 months, and you had an option for See, some lenders were saying, hey, look, you have 3 months, and at the end of 3 months, you can make a lump sum payment. Now, what was happening was that was putting a lot of people in some horrible financial situations. And they decided that is a bad idea because, listen, if I can't make the payments now, if I can't make the payment, month at a time, how am I going to make lump sum payments of 90 days or 6 months? How was I going to come up with that? So, they worked that rollout out. They worked that out, and even in the beginning with that, there was a lot of some lenders didn't necessarily roll it out quick enough. So what was happening was there was people that signed up for forbearance, they didn't get on it. So they started getting negative credit reports on their report. Then there was even reports of people calling in to get information about forbearance, like just wanting to know, hey, look, what are my options for forbearance? And the lender was putting them on forbearance without them even knowing it. And months later, they found out that they're on forbearance and not even knowing it. So when it initially rolled out, it was kind of a mess. And the other thing is most people don't know is not everybody qualifies. Not every loan qualified for forbearance under the CARES Act. Under the CARES Act, the forbearance was for government-backed loans, right? So government-backed loans are going to be Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, those loans. Now, anything that was like a jumbo loan or non-QM, those technically didn't fall under the CARES Act, and the lenders. If they, they could put you on the forbearance program, but they didn't necessarily have to because it didn't fall under the CARES Act rule. So that was a lot of misinformation that was coming out about the lump sum. They didn't know how long you could be on forbearance. Were there penalties to be on forbearance, or was it going to negatively report on your credit? So those. Those were all the misconceptions when it originally rolled out, and it was kind of a mess, right? It was, so not only are you can't make your mortgage payment, and I have to guess, and the people that I'm in forbearance with, they don't know either, right? So that was kind of a bad situation there. So once they realized that all those things were, didn't work out, we finally, with the new CARES Act, they kind of really set everything straight on how the program worked. So currently now the program is you get an initial 6 months worth of the forbearance period, right? So basically, if you call up, they'll give you, and that's just a payment deferred to the end of the loan. Right. So you get 6 months. You don't have to make any payments. They're just going to move those payments to the end of the loan. And then you'll get an initial, and after those 6 months, you can reapply for an additional 6 months. And that's where your 12 months comes in. Right. So that's where those that's how they came up with the initial 12-month program. So all those people, the 600,000 people that initially started forbearance back when it initially started, well, end of March was going to be their last option for forbearance. So we have 600,000 people that are coming off of forbearance. And what do you do now? Some people are back to work. We're not 100% as a country back running, to where some there's a lot of, now we did have a jobs report that recently came out, and that was a little bit better than what a lot of people expected, but we're nowhere near close to getting back to 100% of, people getting back to work. So we're not 100% open. I know Texas has opened up, but it's going to take time for everything to really get back into place.
And that's what's people making their payments.
Right. So, and some people are still able to make their payments. Some people are not. Some people are falling behind. But all these people that are currently in the CARES Act or in forbearance, which is like on the video, he says it's 2.7 million people that are currently in or on the forbearance program, right? And that's a lot of people. That means every one of those homeowners have been put in a situation to where they lost their job or their hours got cut, they got furloughed, they don't, they were affected negatively, like a lot of people were affected negatively to where they can't make their monthly payment on their mortgage, right? That's scary. That's scary to have that many people not able to make their payments. That almost it reminds you of back in 2008, like we talked about before, right? When the market crashed in 2008, and I mean, so now there is a difference though, right? There is a difference, like we discussed before, and we'll talk about those differences here in a minute. From what was going on in 2008 and what we currently have going on in the market now. So since they revised the CARES Act program, so those 600,000 people that were set to expire, they actually got a 90-day boost, right? So that was extended for an additional 90 days. So they get to the end of June to an extension. Okay. So now that all these 2.7 million people and these last 600,000 people, they're 90 days from this this forbearance being up, right? What are your options, right? Anybody listening or watching, what do you do now, right? Just like the rollout was fumbled and stumbled, and nobody knew how, what, when, or where, the end of forbearance is going to be similar to that, right? What are my options? What do I do now? So with your options, usually what's going to happen about 30 days before your end of forbearance, and like I said, that June 30th, what that is for those people that initially got onto forbearance initially, and that's what the forbearance is. What's going to happen about? Go ahead.
Yeah, basically the extra 3 months is just to help people prevent from getting into foreclosures.
Sure.
So people need to actually jump on it now and do what they got to do before it happens in that situation. A lot of people, like I said earlier, are misconception on thinking that they have to pay that lump sum, and that's not true. I mean, that's just an option.
Yeah, not at all. Your lender's going to call you, and when the lender calls you, they're basically going to ask you, or they're going to give you your options, right? And your options, they're going to call you about 30 days before your loan is due, and they're going to give you a couple options. The first option is that lump sum. Yeah. All right. So you've been on forbearance for 15 months. Now pay up.
Right.
And that's not the case. So, so anybody that is currently in forbearance and they think, hey, look, I got to come up with 15 months of mortgage payments. That is just an option that they give you because they want you to, they want to be done. They want to be done with the whole forbearance program. So, no. So you don't have to, that is not a requirement. It is not a requirement to pay 15 months of mortgage payments, but they will give you that option. The second option is going to be a loan modification, right? And with the loan modification is they're going to take all of those 15 months worth of payments and all the penalties and fees and everything that they tack on with that, and they will modify your loan. And with the loan modification, basically they'll just roll all of that in and restart your loan up. Right. And it is essentially like making like doing an actual kind of a refinance, but directly through them. Right. And then the third option is, or the third option they'll give you is just to resume making your monthly payments. And most people, if they can, they're probably going to choose that option. You know what? I'm done with it. They're going to take those payments, put them at the end of the loan, and then keep making your monthly payments. Right. But there is a fourth option, right? What about the people that can't continue making their monthly payments? What do they do, right? What if you still have returned to work? And what if, What if you have returned to work, but you're not making what you were making before? And there's no way that you're going to be able to still pay your bills. And like we talked about before, they've run up all their credit cards. They've been living on credit cards, right? Now you're at the end of, you done charged up all your credit cards, which probably negatively, had an impact on your credit score. And you can't make this payment. There's not an option to make the payment. Now, a lot of people were having they were doing the same scenario back in 2008 when we had the mortgage crash, right? All these people were short selling their homes, and mortgage companies were losing, homeowners were losing, all around everyone was losing because the market was just in shambles, right? But the difference between 2008 and now, that's the biggest difference, right? Now let's talk about the biggest difference between now and then. So let's talk about those market trends, right? So Evette, you want to talk about kind of what's going on in the market, and as far as how the market is currently going?
Yeah, I mean, in past 3 years ago, the sales prices were back in 2018 was like 278K. Now they're up to like 380K.
Wow.
And days on the market 3 years ago was 50 days on the market. Now they're 36 days. They're going quickly, and you're getting multiple offers, and we're short supply. And homes for sale, 2018 were like 20,000. Now they're like 8,823. The prices per square foot back then was 121. Now it's 156.
Wow. So basically, there's less homes than buyers.
Right. Yeah. Because it's across DFW. Yeah. Across DFW, just the supply has completely gone down. So right now, when we look at the supply of what's in DFW, we're looking at 0.8. And what does that mean is there's less than, as far as like days on market, there's less than a month of supply on market. So that means that there's a low supply, a high demand. You have a ton of buyers, not enough inventory. So whenever we're talking about people who are in a bad situation, right now would be a good time to talk to a realtor, to talk to somebody to figure out, okay, where are you? What are my options? Number one is, don't ignore the extension, saying, oh, okay, I got all this free time. Now I'm going to wait till June 29th to figure out what I'm going to do. It's the last thing they want to do is, right now is weigh out your options, figure out where are you. So you decided to do the forbearance and take, over that. But yeah, the market's a great time right now because it's hot. It's a hot seller's market. And there's not enough inventory. And if you need to, then right now would be a great time to sell.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Because if you don't go out and use the equity that you have in your home, your lender is not out there to give you a check back when they sell your house if you have to do a short sale, because they will short sell your home. If you can't make the payments after the forbearance, the next option is you get foreclosed on or they short sell your house. And your lenders are not banks, or they're not real estate agents. They're not trying to get you the most money for your house. They're just trying to get it off the books, right? Because you, along with 2.7 million people, are in the same situation. Now you got to think about what the bankers are sitting there thinking. Like, we have 2.7 million people. We have all these loans, and these people cannot pay their mortgage. They're not going to put your house on the market and show it and try to get multiple offers and try to get as much money as they can. What they're going to do is they're going to try to get it off the books, sell it the fastest way they possibly can. And that doesn't help you, because they don't cut you a check back when you short sell the house. You don't get a check back, right? But if just like you said, don't wait till to the end of your forbearance. Start now. Right? If you're one of those people that just got an extension, start now. Let's see, because your house is worth to people right now, the way the market is going, it's worth quite a bit of money, more than what it's gonna be if it was short sold, which means, you're not necessarily throwing in the towel, right? What you're doing is you're making a good decision for you and your family, right? You can take that equity that you have in your house and sell it, pay some bills off, pay off those credit cards, and there's going to be an option to buy more homes, right? The market, listen, you're always going to be able to get a house, right? There's going to be a way to get back in one. So if you find yourself in this situation, I highly recommend get ahead of the end of forbearance. If you have the additional 90 days, start now. Call a realtor. I suggest you call these ladies, just so they can sit down with you and find out what your situation is.
Right. Yeah, because above all, I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to figure out, okay, where am I? And we're not going to sit here and say, hey, sell your house. We're realtors. We want to go make a commission. No, we want to help you. A lot of the times homeowners, they don't know what situation they're in or what their options are. And that's what we're here for. A bunch of my clients, they tell me, hey, Veronica, if I can't list their house, or if I can't help them, then I'm going to direct them to the best person that can help them.
Right.
Because in this situation, you have several different options. You have to find out if you have equity in your home. Some people don't know that they have equity in their home. They bought it years ago. I mean, back when homes were selling, like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath was selling for $125, $150. Now, because the supply is so low and the demand is so high, the prices of homes have just shot up. So some people have probably like $100,000 in equity. And I mean, this is a lot, but some people have a ton of money in equity. And don't feel bad if you end up having to sell. You're not the only one. You're not the only one that's going through this hardship. There are thousands, millions of homeowners right now that are going through a hardship because, hey, forbearance is about to end on June 30th. If you haven't found employment, or if you took a drastic pay cut and you can't make your payments, even if they say you don't have to do a lump sum, we're just gonna, put what you owe to the back of your loan, and you still haven't found employment, or your current pay, you can't afford to make your mortgage payment. Plus all the added debt, unfortunately, that you've accrued during the pandemic, has put you in a bad way. Don't lose your house. There are options. There are so many options. When Paul was talking about a short sale, some people might end up owing more than the house is even worth, but you won't know that until you talk to us. So that's what we're here for. We're here to, if you're in a bad way, if the pandemic has put you in a bad way, it's okay. We're here to help. There's a bunch of resources and a bunch of people who are willing to help. It's just a matter of making a phone call, reaching out to us. We'll sit down with you. We'll help you sort out all the paperwork that you've received from the bank, and we'll help you figure out what your options are and what the best, the next step is for you to do. But the thing is, like I tell everybody, I tell my family, I tell my friends, you have to do it now. Don't wait. And a lot of times, especially like for us Hispanics, we wait to the last minute. We're like, we're late, right?
Yep.
So don't wait till the last.
Brown people time.
That's right. I was even late enough.
She was late. She's on brown people time.
I made it on time. And I'm in my own house. That's the worst part. Yeah, so don't do that. Don't wait.
This one time, don't do it.
This one could cost a lot of money, so don't do that.
No, but that's so true though. I mean, because there really is so much equity. If you, the likelihood of you having equity in a home, if you're a homeowner right now today, the likelihood of you having equity is high. There's a high chance that you have equity, and there's a good chance that you also have quite a bit of equity, that even if you sell it, you're still going to come out with, you're still going to come out ahead. Right. So absolutely, and
time to buy too,
Oh, right. So, and like I said, the difference is, because I remember 2008 well, and 2008 was ugly, right? And the difference between now and 2008 was the houses back then were underwater. They weren't as much as what what they owed on them. And that is the biggest difference, right? People hear, being upside down on your car when you go trade it in. People are upside down on the houses.
Right.
That's, it's bad when you're upside down on your house, right? And that was the biggest difference from 2008 to now, right? So that's why so many people were short selling and foreclosing on the homes or whatever. And now don't follow that same line, right, of logic, because there is equity there for you to take out to just start your new chapter. Right. Listen, this didn't happen to you. It happened to everybody. There's 2.7 million people that are currently in forbearance. That means there's 2.7 million people that can't make their mortgage. And there's even more that are out of work and got furloughed. And so listen, this ain't a pride thing. And, we all know that, Hispanics are pride too. They're prideful. They don't want to, and listen, I fall in the category too. Hey, listen, I don't want to say that I made a mistake or that I was wrong, but listen, you didn't make a mistake and you're not wrong, right? This just happened. This just happened to everyone. Right. So, if you're in a place to where you have to start making or having these discussions, listen, it's not, it's nothing against you. You didn't do anything. This happened to us. This didn't, you didn't cause this. This just happened. Right. Unfortunately, we all have to deal with it, but do the smart thing and find out what your options are. Get ahead of it and put yourself, because there still could be a silver lining in this whole situation to where you can sell the house. You can take, a lump sum of equity out of the property, pay some bills off, have some money set aside, put in your bank account to start all over again. Correct. Right. Rebuild your credit, pay some bills down and restart your life.
Yeah. And
there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely not.
Smart and thing to do. That's an awesome thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You're making the right decision for your family, right? You're doing it for your family. It's the right thing to do. It's not, it hurts that you have to sell your house. It hurts. Absolutely.
And that's even if you have to, that's even, and some of the people are like, oh, you may not have to. You may not have to sell your house.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just a matter of finding out, and that's what we're here more as a friend, friends to give you some information and where to go to get information.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to, consumerfinance.gov. You can go to, there's all kinds of different websites that you can go to find out, hey, how do I repay my forbearance? What do I do? Number one, call your lender. Well, call us and we'll tell you, what direction you can go to. But what's that?
So we'll direct you to the right place.
That's right. We will direct you to the right place. But call your lender, and your lender will be able to tell you, because I think some of this don't you have to apply or find out if you have applied for the 3-month extension, or is it just automatic?
So the 3-month extension is automatic, right? So they basically all it is they end it. The end date moved from they moved to June 30th. Okay. So now the new end date is June 30th. Right. So, if, like I said, if you do have that and if you can continue making your payments, right? if you can still afford your house, listen, just start making your payments and you know what, the bank is going to, move those payments back. And, basically they'll probably add another year and some fees, to your mortgage, but keep doing that. Absolutely. That's the 100% best and first option. Do that. Yeah. Don't go making lump sums on on your mortgage, because that is not a requirement at all. And if anybody tells you that is definitely not a requirement. That is an option, not a requirement. Loan modification can get a little messy. I wouldn't recommend the loan modification. If you have the option just to resume making your monthly payments, should be your first option. Just pick up.
That takes 30 to 90 days. And I can't imagine how backed up they are right now. So even if you are considering doing a loan modification, you still need to call right now, because if you don't get it approved before it expires, guess
You guys
what?
are
You're gonna
you're
be
making
back.
payments.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of times, and then there's going to be all the fees and everything else that's involved with the loan modification. It's going to cost quite a bit to do that as well. It's not free. It's not free. So 100% first option is continue making your payments. If your lender gives you that option, do that, take that and keep going. Right. For the ones that are just in a pinch, they can't make those payments. Listen, then a good rule of thumb is if your mortgage payment is 50% of what your take home pay is per month, then you should probably look to your options of maybe selling the house, right? If your mortgage payment has, maybe before you started the forbearance, it wasn't 50%, but if it's now, and then again, like I said, it's just a good rule of thumb. If your mortgage payment is half of what you bring home per month, you should probably reach out and talk to somebody about your options outside of that. Because that is not a good financial place to be in. You're not going to get out to be able to pay your debt down and start covering those things. So that's just a good rule of thumb. If you look at the end of the month and your mortgage is taking up half your pay, you know what? Maybe it's time to talk to somebody. Right. And the thing is, you know what? You may have that knot in your stomach when you make that phone call, like, man, I really don't want to do this. But after you actually talk to somebody and see like, hey, listen, you could be getting X amount of money once we're done with selling your house. Right. And just the relief, the pressure of financial pressure just weighing on your shoulders. It's either that or sell the house and relieve all of that and just get rid of all of that financial pressure, take that money, pay those bills off that you were behind on and start fresh. Start fresh. And that, that's if you get to that point, I mean, it's night and day feeling. And listen, I can tell you by experience. I'm telling you, in 2008 was tough. If not, I mean, not just for me, for everybody, 100% experience. Because I didn't have one house, I had 5 houses. So it's like that's 5, financial home mortgage pressures, man. That is a difference. So I know by firsthand experience what that feels like, and I know the flip side of, hey, look, we're able to figure out a situation where we worked it out. We were able to work it out. So if anybody knows, I know I had to make those tough decisions. I had to make those tough phone calls, but at the end of the day, I was better for it. Right. And like we talked about before, you may not think that you're going to be able to buy another house again. Guess what? I bought more houses. You know what I'm saying? I was able to get back on the horse and buy more houses, and I got I got rental properties and all of that. So you're going to get back to a situation where you're going to be in a house. And absolutely, if you want to do it, you can make the right decisions. You can do it, right? Well, there's ways to do it, and you call us, and we'll definitely show you how to get there for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah,
that's another good thing about talking about buying houses and everything. Right now, it's not only a good time to buy houses. Yeah, the prices are high and everything, but the good facts about actually for home buyers, there's great facts. There's low interest rates right now. Currently, right now they're low. We don't know when they're going to come back. There's great down payment assistance right now with no attachments. So, I mean, it's a good time to buy for buyers as well.
Absolutely. And even if you're downsizing, right? Let's say you were in a huge mortgage and you want to downsize. You don't necessarily have to, sell the house and be done with it. There may be an option to downsize your house as opposed to just selling it and not having a home as well. So there's a lot of different options for there's just a lot of stuff, and the thing is, this was great timing, especially with with the forbearance ending and a lot of people not knowing what their options are, what to do at the end. So listen, the information is scrolling at the bottom. If you guys have any questions about what your options are about selling your home, contact these ladies. They'll walk you through it. They'll tell you what your options are. And you may not, you know what, you may not need to sell your home. But if you do, listen, you may be glad you made that phone call. Right. You may be glad to say, hey, look, I didn't realize I had this much equity in my property. You know what? Now I have a way out. There's a light at the end of this tunnel. Right. And I'll be honest with you, the property values have been skyrocketing. I look every day, and the value of, some of my properties, they're just going up and going up. And I'm just like, I'm tempted to sell myself just because how great of market it is. So yeah, absolutely. So if any of you guys have any concerns or questions about selling a home, you know what, even if you want to buy a home, right? Even if you guys are in the market to take advantage of these low interest rates, to take advantage of these buying a home in this market, call them. The number's at the bottom. Call them, email, reach out, contact these. They're and where you guys you guys sell all DFW? Tell us a little bit about kind of where you specialize.
All DFW.
Yeah, because I used to live over there in Farmers Branch, Carrollton area, so I know that whole area over there, North Dallas. Then when I got married and moved over here to Arlington, so now I know this whole Tarrant County area. So we literally worked all of DFW. We're so familiar with the market and just all of the areas. We've worked with a lot of people from California, which is another reason, why, because we have a lot of people moving into Texas.
Yeah, for sure.
Another reason why the supply is low and the demand is high. People are paying cash, but like it's not just buying and selling. Just find out what your options are. We're not going to persuade you either way. We want to help you. The last thing we want to do is see you lose your house. Make sure that's not an option. Do not let that be one of your options. There are a ton of options. You could even rent your house. There's rental prices that have gone up so high that your mortgage payment might be so low that you could rent your house and cash flow catch up, and
that's
then
right.
back into your house. So there's an insane amount of options. What you need to do if you're in a bind is call us. Let's have a conversation. We'll talk to you. We'll sit with you. We'll sort through all your paperwork, and we'll help you figure out what's the best option for you.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's it's just great that you have an opportunity to help people. Right. I mean, hey, it's cool. Let's sell a bunch of houses and the market's hot, and that's great. That's great in itself, and that's fun. But to be in a situation where you can actually help people out of tough, financial situations, and being able to, just give back, right? That's just, a way of giving back and helping people. And I don't think people will never forget that. Right. They'll never forget, like, hey, this person was able to help me out of a tough situation. So absolutely. So if anybody's that
in itself, and that's what we need right now, just to help each other,
No, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. You're 100% right. We all need to put our differences aside and everybody pull in the same direction. That's what we all need to do. We all need to get together and pull in the same direction and help everybody out. Absolutely. 100%. That's my motto, man. Anybody that asks for my help, man, I'm there. Doesn't matter what they are. You need something, you call me, I'll definitely help you out. Now, that being said, I don't need all my cousins calling me, asking me to borrow money.
Right. I'm broke.
I was, so, but yeah, besides that, man, thank you guys. Thank you for coming on. We definitely appreciate you offering your services as far as being able to help those people that are in need. And we definitely appreciate it. You guys have anything else to add? Any projects or anything going on?
We have several projects, but we're just here to help. So anything you guys need, we're here to help you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. We definitely appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate the time. We appreciate all the information, and good luck. Hopefully, we definitely wish you the best of luck this year. I think the market's still going to be doing well. Rates have kind of they went up a little bit. Now they're coming back down. So rates are still low. The market is still hot. So if anybody's in the market, you know, if you're in a place to where you can't afford a new home, jump on it now.
Right. Yes.
Everybody else is out there jumping on it. So,
Yes.
so
Buyers who they're using these first-time homebuyer programs, and they're literally getting their earnest money back at closing because these first-time homebuyer programs are paying 6% of their closing costs and down payment. So if you're a buyer and you qualify for one of these programs, oh my gosh, you got to jump on that, you know?
jump on it. That's right, because everybody else is. So, all right, guys. Yes, thank you guys for coming on. The information scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Take it down. Give them a call. Give them an email. Reach out to them on Facebook. However you need to, just reach out. All right, guys. Thanks for everybody for all the support. Thanks for everybody that's watching. Thanks for everybody that's listening on Spotify and watching on YouTube. We definitely appreciate it. All right, guys.
Have a good night.
That's the end. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, thank you for watching the video. And remember, if you guys have any questions, drop a comment below. And also remember to like and subscribe. We appreciate your support, and continue coming back to the channel so you can see all the great content that we have coming for you guys. We appreciate it. Again, thank you and God bless.